Well, so let's just talk about year one. You got this vanilla car. Year one, you're going to wash that car. Let's just say you wash your car once a month, as any good car owner should. It's a little bit on the light side, but I'll let you wash it once a month. $20 is a trip to the car wash. 12 months a year, that's $240 a year, okay?
Yep.
You're going to have to get 3 oil changes. If you change oil 3 times a year, you drive 15,000 miles a year. 3 oil changes, I think I picked $70 a piece. That's $210. You're going to need an air filter, and you're going to need a cabin filter. I just rounded that off at $60. So in that first year with this new car, you have to spend $510 at the automotive shop. If I divide that out, that's $42.50 a month that you got to plan for on top of your $500 a month car payment. So you take $500 a month, you add $42.50 in that first year. Now year two doesn't get a whole lot more expensive, but we need to throw a detail on that car, get a good coat of wax on it. So I still got my car washes. I threw in $60 for a coat of wax.
And the first year was how much?
$510.
So year one's every year, no matter what. Now you start building on it.
Yeah,
you start stacking.
Exactly. So we still got to have the car washes. We still got to have the wax. We still got to have the air filter and the cabin filter. Not a whole lot different other than a wax in year two. But in year three, things are going to start to get real. You know, this kid is really going to start to be asking for some food, right? So you've got the car wash, the wax. You still got the oil changes and the filters. Year three is still pretty mild too, but coming into year four. So you got to be planning ahead. Year four is we're going to add a brake job to it. We're going to add a transmission service to it. We're going to add a brake fluid service to it. You know, I was looking. You're looking the Honda chart you had pulled up.
2010 Honda, yeah.
And they're recommending every 3 years for a brake fluid service. So that's coming up. You're probably going to get your first brake job in that fourth year, possibly.
We're in year 3 or 4 now.
4 now. Sorry.
So we're at year in factored 60,000 miles a year. So now we're at 60,001 to 75,000 miles in that neighborhood, right?
No, I'm screwing you up here.
Okay. So we're back. We're below. We're 45 to 60.
Yeah, we're back to year 3. So 30 to 45,000 miles.
Right.
So we got the car wash, we got the oil changes, the air filters, the cab filters. So we're going to get our first brake job in that third year, and then we're also going to get a set of tires. So I figure $800 for a set of tires. You can get nicer tires or lesser tires, or whatever. But $800 is a fair estimate. Probably going to want to service a transmission. So now we're talking about $2,000 worth of stuff. So now you're spending $175 a month if you average that out for the year.
Yeah, so now that $500 car payment is now
$675. Okay, so year 3 is where it starts to get real. Now year 4, you know, in year 3 we might have thrown a battery in there, but we'll hold it out to year 4, even though batteries just
sure.
Don't.
Maybe we got the first one under warranty. We'll give the benefit of the doubt on the first
one under warranty. But year 4 you're buying a battery, so battery is $160. The car washes, the wax, cabin filter. You know, injector service on these modern direct injection cars is an expense that didn't used to be there.
Mm-hmm.
That's got to happen. We can't neglect that. For a true good injection service, I'm going to throw $400 in there.
Yeah.
And you know that we had that phone call a couple months ago, Toyota Tacoma. They wanted spark plugs at 30,000 miles.
Exactly.
I'm like, you're kidding me. So, you know, throwing a set of spark plugs. So here in year 4, we're $1,200 again a year. So basically another $100 a month. So that's where when you go out car shopping, you're like, what can I afford? Because you go to the car lot, and the guy says, hey, what kind of payment can you get? Well, what kind of payment do you like? You know, and even if you said $300, you're still not leaving there for $450. So you might as well just start really low.
Right.
I think I could afford about $250. You know, he's like, well, maybe.
Well, that's how. Then what they do is they take it, and you know, it used to be, you know, they stretch the term from 60 months to 72 months. Oh, no problem. You can't afford 400. Well, let's just stretch this baby out. Now all of a sudden you realize you're paying for the car for 8 years, or 7 years, or whatever. You know, you pick your number, and that's why I think this is so much more important. We've got to have this car be running well. We want to enjoy it. We're going to have it. We're going to own it for a while.
And if you're thinking about this, you're like, man, every time I turn around, this car's asking for money. It's like that kid, you know?
Yeah.
It's like my son gets more expensive every year. Now we're at 14 years old. There's club baseball. There's tournaments. There's tournament fees. It just keeps going on. And then he's got to have a bat to play baseball. And now it's a BB core bat. Those things are like $300.
Well, forget about all that. Just the normal. I mean, that's bonus on top. That's the nice kid. If you got just the basic car, you know what I mean? They still need food and clothes and shoes, and it's the same thing for the car. It's you know, the good thing about the car is it doesn't talk back, though.
No, that is true. Well, you know what? Actually, it talks as much as my son. When he turned 13, he just went quiet. How was school? Good. Yeah,
Right.
really? Did you throw rocks at the teacher? No. Any fights?
But
no.
you know what, though? The car does talk to you. It's gonna, and you got to pay attention to it. You know, 49,000 miles on a Mini Cooper, Dave. Lady brings it into the shop, check engine lights on. The car won't even get out of its own way. We go, when these check engine lights come on, folks, it leaves a little thumbprint or fingerprint. We know how fast you were going and when that light came on 4 months ago. Car's only got 49,000 miles on it. I mean, you can't just ignore it. That car was talking to her. And it wasn't talking back either. It's begging for help.
It was saying a little something.
Yeah.
Well, the thing with stress is surprises. I get stressed out when I get surprised by things like, oh my gosh. And there really should be no stress or surprises when it comes to your car. That's how we're going to eliminate the stress of all that. We're going to probably lower our expectations as far as how much car we can afford. Okay, we just took that down by $100, $150 a month. And then we're going to lower our expectations, and we're not going to be surprised when we got to spend money on it. Oh, really? You got to change the oil on these things? Yes, you do. Oh, really? They need tires? Yes, they do. And the funny thing is, Matt, and we didn't go out through all the years, but we could, build this thing out and expand it, and timing belts and water pumps and alternators and belts and all that stuff. But the thing of it is it's just planning for the stuff. It's going to happen. And people are surprised. How many times have you had this comment in your shop? At 90,000 miles, a car breaks down for the first time. They're like, the car hasn't needed anything until now. But now it needs repair. Yeah, at some point they do break down.
I'm going to make an analogy to that because it's funny all the time. And it's the customer. I can't believe my car needs this work. You can just see the look on their face. And you're like, oh, my God, just listen to what you're saying and digest this. I've had this car 120,000 miles, and I've never done anything. And now all of a sudden you're telling me it needs this, hello, what did you say? You just drove this car for 10 years, 120,000 miles, and have done nothing. It's like my guys.
Got to pay the piper at some point.
It's the kids or the guys at work. They take the thing out of the microwave. The soup's boiling hot, and it's hot. I'm like, yeah, stupid. It just came out of the microwave. What do you expect?
And if you live in Arizona, one thing that you can add to this budget, and we relied on it, was the frickin' batteries. This town eats batteries for lunch. It's like, batteries, they don't last more than 2-3 years in this town. And would you say the average battery, if you were going to a pay-in shop and having them change it out, you're going to pay some $140, $160, $180?
Yeah, you're not getting out for less than $160.
$160.
Tax and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're going to want to, if you're going to spend $160, you might as well get a good battery. That's why we offer interstate batteries at our shop. Every car that comes through the door, we test the battery first thing. Because batteries cause so many issues to the car that you're really unaware of. You got to have a good power source to make it work good. That's why we recommend interstate batteries. They've been around forever. They're covered coast to coast. When we come back, we've got John and Gina and Mehmed. You listen to Matt and Dave, Bumper to Bumper Radio, taking phone calls at 602-277-5827, 602-277-KTAR.